Let me go and send out the black signal. I already sent out the emails. I ain't getting too many. Yes.
I found a pic, but not yours.
Thank you. Let me see. All the pics here are mine. Yeah, that's my pic. That's my pic.
You bought it for us.
No. You ain't got no hair to pick. You got it all braided up.
Well, I want to pick it when I'm done.
Okay. I don't know why y'all got to touch all my stuff. All right, we're about to get it popping off, family. It's time for the first.
I was using that for my black dog's hair.
No, you don't use my pick for your dog's hair. We take you to the store. Oh, you can't find your card, so I can't take you to the store to buy your own pick. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, family. Hopefully everybody is here. Everybody here. Open up the chat boxes. Open up chat boxes. Let's see. Man. All right. Refresh all my screens. Make sure we streaming on all cylinders. Make sure we're able to get all the chats. Well, it's not showing we streaming on Facebook. Okay. I think I updated the title. I'm Gye-Nyame. For those that know, today is Kwanzaa, Imani, but for us at Gye-Nyame, it is Ujima. So let's go on, get everything working the way it needs to be working. Okay, it shows we live on Facebook. I don't see anything on YouTube yet. Whose speed is up? Uber conference is running. Text messages and emails went out. Hallelujah. Try to pull up the chat on Spreaker on here too, just in case somebody out there want to get in on the conversation. I had a dream that I had an application that plugged all of my chats together. And I got to figure out how to do that in 2020 so that when I comment or a video, you'd also comment on my podcast rather than me having to double up. Sort of like I'm doing with all of my stuff now, because I could comment on all my channels through one function. So as y'all can see, I'm still sleepy, so I'm still struggling. But we're going to do what we came here to do. We're going to do this toast. We're going to have this conversation. What exactly do you want to bring into 2020, and what do you want to leave behind? What were some of the events in 2019 that you feel are worthy of us talking about now? You know what I'm saying? What are things that you want to leave behind? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, the growth of the community, the growth of each individual that's involved with the journey. Popping off here. It's so good to see you. All right, so they say we're live on Facebook. I'm not about to go through all this Facebook. Stop playing with me. All right. I just want to see the video. Put the video up so I can make sure. All right, we're live on Facebook, so I'm just going to make these couple adjustments. If you bear with me, we'll get right into the song. Phone lines are open or will be open once we do the toast. Feel free to come on in. Let's have a conversation. Let's do our thing. Got the mic ready for the communications with the family. Over the lines. Nobody called in last night, but it was I had a good conversation. Sister Cynthia was typing in comments as well as questions. Sister Regina as well. I want to thank both of them. And sister out of Brooklyn was also getting involved with the conversation. So this is Ujima, Toast and Talk. But also, family, this is Kwanzaa, and Kwanzaa is Imani, and also I want to say Happy New Year to everybody out there. So I'll go on and say this, and we get started. the first song of the year. Thank you, Auntie. Oh, what's up, Miss Navita? Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, then drink. Take that breath with me, family. Man. Grab your glass for some water. Get your picture of that water. Lift that picture of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Man, listen. Now move your body and drink some water. Stretch. Move your body and drink some water. Oh, lift that rib cage on your body, drink some water. Family, move your body, stretch it. Oh, drink. Or should I say, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then. Now, take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But remember to stay healthy, family. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Drink half your weight in ounces. Eat a culturally appropriate diet, but hey, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Oh. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Drink your water. Drink. Drink your water. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink your water, fam. Oh man, we had a nice show last night. We're going to finish up the last little bit of our tea that I pulled out before the before the fermenting started. I'm going to be able to go downstairs and get my gallons together real soon. I think we might go and get us a sample tomorrow for tomorrow's toast. I got a little bit of old ambrosia left. I'm throwing it in there with the tea. Need some healing today. All right, family. So, hey, Happy New Year, Habari Ghani. For those that know the answer, it's the last day of Kwanzaa, and this, for many of us, is where the real work starts. The real work starts right here, family. The real work starts tomorrow. We prepare for Kwanzaa, and the real work starts right now. You know what I'm saying? My fault tomorrow, because we're going to be, go sit down, relax, get yourself together. We got to start building towards another successful Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? When we have a successful Kwanzaa, we have a successful year. So we're about to have a successful year, because we're going to work very hard to make sure that we are able to keep the steam, keep all of the momentum moving. All the momentum that we gain, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to continue along with the conversations we've been having. We continue with the daily toast. We're going to continue with all of the activities that we got going on, and continue and move one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? You conquer a long journey one step at a time. Sometimes you stub your toes, sometimes you trip and you fall, but you got to keep up and you got to keep moving towards the goal, and that's what we're doing here in our community. So I want to give the community a round of applause. Give those families that make up their community, those families that make up those tribes, and those tribes that make up their village, and that village and those villages that come together to make up their community. I'm going to give them a round of applause. Yeah, man, family, Y'all came out. Y'all showed out. We want to thank every last one of y'all. Once again, like I said, we raised $1,420. That's $1,420. And the fundraising portion, as far as the actual Kwanzaa day, right? The 5 days we did Kwanzaa, we raised that $1,420. And I want to thank y'all for coming out. And, like I said, I have faith. You know what I'm saying? Because my goal was 1,300. You know what I'm saying? So we smashed this year's goal. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, once the counting is done, we'll find out that possibly, we got some money to roll over into next year's Kwanzaa, as well as to some of the cultural stabilizing holidays that we got coming up. However it works out. But family, I want to thank y'all, all those, because we've seen people from all walks of life during Kwanzaa. I want to thank y'all. It was a powerful experience this year. But nonetheless, we need to get to our toast, and then if we need to, we will have our discussion. Family, the question that I'm asking is, what is it that you're leaving behind in 2019, and what are you taking forward in 2020? Was there anything important that you wanted, any important lessons that you got from 2019 that you would like to share with the rest of the family? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have the lines open. So we got news that we can cover, but shit, y'all the news. You know what I'm saying? What lessons did you get in 2019 that's going to make your 2020 outstanding? Shouts out to Sister Navita. Peace to you as well. Shouts out to Brother Kwame, who says, great Ujima fam. Make it a great day. Great Kwanzaa Imani. Alright, so we're going to raise our glass first to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We raise our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move on to our list of our ancestors. So I'm going to pull this list and we're going to start reading off these names as we usually do here. Right about this time at Gye-Nyame Journey. We got Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert the Tex, Xander Davis, Herman Brown, St. Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia William, Walter, Chris Fanny, Gaston, Lee, Uncle Chris, Alfine, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis of all Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Watch Ellis, Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tapper, John Pilar, Montague Pittman, No More X, Pet My Rob, Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Rocco, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling Lucy Wright, Dale Pullian, the Luxor brother, Miss Eda Brooke Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Jazz Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rinderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Louis Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agoso Sue, Shell Harvey, Ann Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thorne, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keishla Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Spells, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mitchell Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavina Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Del Rita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Ward, Jane Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Addie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Amatel Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frankie Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dini Monares, Gina Roop Jones, Jana Callahan. Just checking something real quick. Jana Callahan. For those that are new, that are tuning in, for those that are new, if you want to add your people to the list, type them up on the screen. You understand? Those that are new, you know what I'm saying? If you have some new people that you want to add to our ancestor list, by all means, tap them up. I will find a pen, I will write them up, but I will definitely mention them today. All right? So let's continue on. We have William Walter West, Nigel Parrish, Elder Basiji Filani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scanterberry, Wilson Hadley, Emma Hine, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Ada Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nayland Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word, the First, Stacey Trash, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Rebecca Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher George, and Hallie Johnson. Man. Archie Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alexander, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eulin Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harry, Tubman Case, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno Baby Hatch, Senior, Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Prince Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cooper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Manila, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erton Houston, Lil Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, and Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Ward Pruitt, H.J. Brownlee Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruth Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javale McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shakamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Brothers, Reginald Oliver, Mazarin Coper, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles A. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. All right, let's move on. We have Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shelling Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jermonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quincy Sample, Candace Simmons, Summer Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sadi Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gantz, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth, Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Jasandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Al-T. Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talenton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, Shalard Woods, Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamira Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Natty Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnilla Willis, Ethel Lane, Samanda Damon, Ethel Marshall, Steve Dougie Shelton, William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Gray, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Gisela Morrow, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Murrow, Sylvester Foster family. We raise our glass up to our ancestors. Let me make sure there ain't none pop up. And we say, Ashe, ain't last, but family move to the present moment. We toast the past, and our ancestors did what they did, and they made it possible for us to be where we are today. So we have already recognized those personal ancestors within our own bloodline. Of course, there's many other ancestors that we could recognize, but we choose on the Daily Toast to focus on those personal ancestors. So now we move to the present moment. We lift up our glass to this present moment, and we salute this present moment, because in this moment is our power. Family, I ask each of you to open up your reticular formations. And go out and seek Ujima today in your search. Ujima and Imani. All right, cool. But we on Ujima, but Kwanzaa is Imani. You could look for that one too, but we have to get into the practice of looking for our principles. You know what I'm saying? Documenting where they happen. You know what I'm saying? You can take a picture and you can share it with us on our Gye-Nyame Journey Media page on Facebook as well. Pictures, write-ups, however you want to do it on the page and not on the the private part, but on the page, so that everybody can see it. For those that don't speak the language, Ujima means collective work and responsibility. The modic principle for the day is righteousness. What we teach young people about this day at the school is respect. This is one of the M7 principles, respect. Blue is the color. As you can see, vibration is the Hermetic law. Male name for the day is Kwaku. Female name is Akua. Acura. Oh my God. Oh my God. Alright. So I'm just looking at how this transcriber is just murdering some of these terms. But anyway, we raise our glass to this present moment, realizing that we have a responsibility to take care of this moment, to use the energy in this moment so that we could press forward for our future generations, because we are creating the time and space for them. So let's go and get busy. Let's get to work, family. Ashe. From the present moment, we move to our future, our children's children on into infinity. We lift our glass up to them. We salute them. Not only do we want to lead them space and time, we want to lead them resources to work with, right? We want to lead them businesses and organizations to take over, right? So we raise our glass to institution building, right? That we're going to be doing for our children. So we lift up our glass and advance for them, and we say, Ashe. From their family, where do we go? I'll tell you where we go. Very simple. Are you ready? Are you ready? From the future generations, we move to all of our relations, right? All those things around us that we related to. We raise up our glass and we say, Ashe. From all of our relations, family, we move to that selfish toast. What is it that you need to move forward and to lift up and become the greatest you in this moment? Moment by minute, like we said, minute by minute, right? Moment by moment. We raise our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move on, and I toast the most magnificent, the most beautiful, the most uplifting, the most inspiring individual in the room, and that just happened to be you. So I raise my glass up to you, and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I'm opening up the lines so we can have some conversation. Some conversation is needed, or maybe it's not. That's up to you. That's up to you. We could do it how you want to do it. If you want to call in, by all means. The call-in number is Black Line. Let me put the label Black Line 614-556-4535. If you can't remember that and you got the black signal, all you gotta do is go to the text that you receive, click, plop, put you right in. Black Line is up. It's open for conversation. What do you want to carry into 2020? What are some of the goals that you have for 2020? What lessons did you learn in 2019? You know what I'm saying? Let's have this discussion, family. I mean, shoot, hell, come on now. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, because y'all know, I talk to myself. That's what I do. Talk to myself if I need to. You know what I'm saying? We had an excellent show last night. I just want to make sure I shout out Sister Regina and Sister Cynthia, because they kept us moving last night. So on the timeline, there was a real good discussion about Orlando Jones and his recurring role on American Gods second season. Wow, those of you that have been following the news, they got rid of him. It appears that his character was too angry and too strong and he was too black. Too strong? What? He was too black. Bring him up in the ways. Puzzle for the day and the Western Asiatic New Year. When does 01 plus 01 equals 10? He says, when do 01 plus 0, 1 equals 10. That, I'm quite sure that got something to do with the other puzzle that you posted up the other day. But the quiz for today, and I will be putting up a t-shirt for whoever answers it. Hopefully somebody who answers it will live in Columbus. So we have one of the Daily Toaster t-shirts, since I wasn't able to do a raffle. You know what I'm saying? You know. So I have a t-shirt up for anybody that can answer Brother Kwame's puzzle. Or hell, if you even get into, because he be asking some hard ass, if you even get within the, you know what I'm saying, especially in Columbus, this is a large t-shirt. So if you can't fit a large, I have a hat that you could choose from. So anybody that is bold enough to try to answer one of Brother Kwame's questions. Now this hat has a little bally on top, so I'm keeping the bag so you won't be like, bro, I still be giving me used shit. He be giving me used shit. Nah, I'm keeping it in the bag so we ain't got to have nobody talking none. You know how y'all get. You know how I know how my peoples get out there, right? But anyway, going back to well, I kind of know, I kind of have an idea of how your lesson plans work. Because people might not realize it, but you're teaching a lesson. So you started with the binary code and the binary piece, and you brought something else and be like, boom, you got 0 and 1s and stuff like that. So, just saying. So you saying I won? I won the shirt? Because I'll put that shit on right now because I want the shirt. I got a hat. Well, I don't got the hat with the little bally. But anyway, Brother Kwame is going to be throwing some stuff up here. And we're going to be having prizes going out this year. Since Navita's building up the prize vaults and shit. And especially around the festival time. Because we're going to get to work on Malcolm X. As a matter of fact, we're going to start raising funds for Malcolm X as soon as next week. Y'all always raising funds. Well, we don't have taxes. We don't have tax revenues. Family? Other than the tribe, and it's about 10 of us old enough possibly to pay. That ain't a lot of money. So, you know what I'm saying? Then now we got the new responsibility of Tawi. Tawi got to get their cut. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you join the family. When you join the village, you got to pay rent. There ain't nothing wrong with that, right? That's called nation building. Alright. But back to and this dude called himself the Black Nerd. It was a pretty good conversation. But the whole piece, because he brought up another show that was like, because in 2019, some of the shows that I saw and some of the content in some of these shows, especially the popular shows that surprisingly were talked about and showed on social media, that are like, for some people, life-changing, because the concepts and the way that black people were viewed in these movies and these TV shows were totally different. Now, one, the brother mentioned Watchmen, how they covered the whole Tulsa, Oklahoma thing, right? The Black Wall Street and the bombing of Black Wall Street, and incorporated that into like a comic book world, and dealt with the racism, and dealt with the, you know what I'm saying, and dealt with the fact, and brought it all the way around to where the God of that universe literally chose to be a black man. Chose and was a black man, and fell in love. I want y'all to think about this, because anybody that's familiar with the Watchmen universe, this being fell in love with a black woman, and this black woman the love for this black woman was so intense that it said, shit, I'm going to be a black man. Right? Incredible. Incredible. Beautiful show. Beautiful. I mean, it has some fuckery in there. I mean, they always you gotta sprinkle some of that shit up in there. But the overall, the underlying message that was in the story, I mean, well, we could go and dissect because there's a lot of underlying messages, but the stars of this epic and the major ideas behind it that can be used for us in discussion are monumental. That's one show. The next one was season 2 of American Gods, right? With the rise of Anansi or Mr. Nancy, right? The rise of Anansi, right? The storytelling guy, right? Powerful, right? This brother stole the show this season and they had to get rid of his ass. The power in the character was just tremendous. I mean, this dude brought Anansi to life. And what's crazy is, I didn't envision him being able to play Anansi, because when they first announced it, I swear to God, I said, God damn, Orlando Jones, but then he did that speech in 2018 on the slave ship, right? Remember that? And I was like, oh, okay. So I had to go on, because, I read the book. I read the book first. See, because now, once again, this is comic book world. And what's the importance of that? Because comic books are the new myths of this age. They're the myths of this age. Like Hercules, because a lot of us, we look at Hercules as a character, but Hercules was a serious point of worship in certain cultures. It wasn't no goddamn comic book. You know what I'm saying? But now, in the new age that we're living in, the new cast and characters of the pantheon or the mythology is coming through comic books. So through another comic book style piece, we have the American Gods, and the major character in season 2, the one that stole the show, that they had to get rid of his ass because he's too angry. He wants to get shit done. He say shit like anger, get shit done. And he's sitting up here, he checking the other black gods. He has a meeting with the black gods on the show, telling these motherfuckers, how can you talk about practicing restraint with all the shit that's going on with your people? Man, family, I went through and we discussed that scene, but I want y'all to understand the power of that. And they had to get rid of this brother. Right? They said, no, we didn't fire him. We're just good. We're trying to stick to the book. Now, I read the book. They was off the book in the first season. I'm just telling you that right now. I read the goddamn book. So when they throw the book up there talking about, he don't fit into this. No. The whole storyline of season 2 is out of track with the book. Shit, they was out of track with the book in damn near the first season. Right? I'm just saying. So now all of a sudden, they talking about the book. Now, the reason I say it's comic book, because if you look at Neil Gaiman, I just found out, is a comic book writer. He's a writer out of comic books. Which kind of explains why his stories, shit. I mean, because between American Gods and Anansi Boys, boy, listen. This thing put Nazi Boys. Anansi. No, not a Nazi. Anansi. Fuck it. Alright, So I have the guys here. You can check him out. If you like his channel, go and like and subscribe. Of course, if you like what we do here at Gye-Nyame, by all means, I ask you to like, subscribe, and share. Because in the coming year, like I said, the goal is to grow. And I want to thank all of the family because we have made a major jump. Not for some of the big ballers out there that this is not a major jump, but for Gye-Nyame, in a couple of days, I just want to share this with y'all. Just within the Kwanzaa season, your gift to us, and I'm going to be very clear, was we gained 53 new likes just in Kwanzaa season, which brought us from our 700 something to 536. Family, y'all been showing up and showing out, and I appreciate you. All right, so now like and share the page, like and share some of the content. Let's get it moving because we got to get this Ujinomics in motion. We got to get this Ujinomic system in motion. What's your take on American Gangster? Okay, now also that was the next one. American Gangster was another one that came out with black main characters, focusing on Bumpy Johnson and the relationship. So of course we know that shit was added, but the whole piece is I don't want people to watch the show and think that it's history. Please understand, this is a fiction, right? It's a piece of fiction based on real life events. We don't know what's real. We don't know what's been added. Some of us don't, right? But just take and look at the possibilities, right? Look at the possibilities, right? And it's this, and because what we need to be doing as far as Gye-Nyame is getting our young people to watch these shows, discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of the shows, right? But then also get them to see below the surface and really start generating some of the conversations that we need to be having in our community. But it's kind of uncomfortable to bring it just because when you bring it raw, nobody understands what you're talking about, right? But what these type of stories do, it allows us to use the mythology, it allows us to use the storytelling to illustrate points or ideas that we could get our young people to start wrestling with, right? And in a sense, because for me, I learned this at Ohio State, right? Ohio State was a safe space for individuals to do research. What we have to do is be able to create a safe space where our young people, as well as some old people, can really do some in-depth thinking about the concepts that we're talking about. So that we just don't memorize the Nguza Saba, right? We have actual individuals that's putting together papers that's building up on the concept of the Nguza Saba. You know what I'm saying? With theories on how it works and what situations to use it in. You know what I'm saying? It's like taking our stuff and looking at it as seriously as West Asians look at their stuff. I don't think that's too much to ask. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I think it's our responsibility to ask that of our children. Right? And people that's coming into our orders. Right? Because like I said last night, we talked about circling the wagons and creating the processes through which people enter our circle. Right? It's time. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, every Kwanzaa I got people running up on me with ideas or with comments and stuff like that. And it's like, I feel you, but I don't feel you. You understand? I feel you, but I don't feel you. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a responsibility to my community, but now what I'm being forced to do in my later years and what I got to start honing my young people to understand is that we do have a responsibility to the community. We got a responsibility to the village. We got a responsibility to our tribe. But we have to be very clear about what that is, because right now it's this big unbound, shapeless thing where anybody can just step in and throw and fuck everything up. You know what I'm saying? I'm black. And once again, like I said last night, that's not enough anymore. I'm black. That ain't enough no more. I don't want to hear that no more. You know what I'm saying? What is your investment? What, you know what I'm saying? Are you a tax-paying member of the family? You know what I'm saying? Or are you a freeloader? You know what I'm saying? Are you donating time? Are you donating energy? Are you donating some resources to the family? Because it don't always have to be money, because all of us run into hard times. But can you be doing more for this village? For where we are in Columbus? Because we're moving into politics now, family. But somebody on the line.
Well, I just said this is Sister Navita.
What's up, Sister Navita?
What?
What's going on?
Oh, I just was tuning in. I wanted to listen earlier, and I had to go to the grocery store. And excuse me, for some reason my YouTube Premium ain't. I don't think it's working right or whatever. I don't know, but anyway, I just wanted to listen in for a minute, see what you were talking about before I chimed in on anything.
All right, cool. So I'll leave the line open. Anybody else want to call in line at 614-556-4535.
So, do you have a topic? I guess that's a question.
What do you want to carry into the new year? Right now I'm going through the news. What lessons have you learned for 2019? And we're in the new year. So we had a comment. What's on your mind? That's the most important piece. I want to see what's on my people's minds. You know, because like I said, I could structure this shit, but I'm very unstructured, as most of you know. But go ahead.
Well, I'm into, I learned some things. I suppose, you're never too old to learn a thing. But I must say, I'm just very forgetful, but there's nothing sticking out to me that I didn't learn in 2019 that I haven't already learned by the time I'm 51. I'm sure there was something, but it's just nothing that big and significant that is sticking out to me at the moment. But in going into 2020, I just want to continue to keep the same heart, the same spirit and mindset when it comes to trying to progress myself, the community, and those around me. Continue to support black businesses and African-centered minded people.
So,
which could be of any religion. Because Marcus Garvey was a Christian, so Malcolm X was a Muslim.
Stop it!
Yes, So, or maybe that's one thing I learned. I don't know if I learned it in 2019, but I know one thing I have learned is not to, that whole, how do I say it? If someone's not asking for the information, I don't volunteer it when it comes to people and their Christianity, because I know how serious that can be. But as long as we can get on the same page about who our enemy is and who we are as a people and what we need to do, I can rock with them. You know what I'm saying? But if they can't, I don't care what they are. Christian, atheist, if those we can't bond on those things, and they're on that whole multicultural, we are the world, save everybody shit, then, that's right there. I can't build with that.
Shouts out to Sa Shimshu. I see you out there, my brother. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to call in 614-556-4535. Anybody else out there got something they want to talk about to start the 2020 year off?
Well, that brings me to mind about the multicultural thing.
Uh-oh.
What does multicultural mean to what should it mean, in your opinion, when you hear a black person or anyone say, well, it's not about this, it's about being multicultural? What does that say to you?
White supremacy. Whenever I want you to, the basic culture of the system that we are in is white supremacist. The basic mythology is white supremacist. So whenever anybody comes at us with this multicultural shit, we got to understand that what they're saying is that you need less of you and more of everybody else that's been conquered by these motherfuckers. Right? I mean, so multicultural is a key word for me. Because it's nothing multicultural about what's going on. Okay, yeah, we recognize certain traditions, but ain't shit changing in the system. So now I'm focused on satisfying and making everybody else feel comfortable, but yet the system is still whooping my ass in the way that it's been whooping my ass. So now I just get to know a little bit more about other cultures while I'm getting my ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Because the major culture that you need to know about in America is the one that has been set by white supremacy, and they will always try to take your focus off of you and get you to start focusing on others. As black people, we don't need to celebrate multiculturalism because we have always been multicultural. If you look at our kingdoms, if you look at the empires that we had in West Africa, you had many different faiths able to exist at the same time. There was no necessarily religious wars with us. That's they shit. There was no different cultural beefs, because what stopped the different cultural beefs with us was the ability we had shit to trade. We didn't have to go into each other's land and try to necessarily take some shit. We were able to trade, which is an important part of culture, which I talked about last night, right? Being able to trade, when you are able to form trading partnerships, that's when true multiculturalism starts to take place. But nobody is trading with us. They just extracting from us. So until people start respecting what we have and who we are, there will be no multicultural. There can be no multiculturalism, because what they're saying is forget your black.
Well, Brother Hot Tim.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna play. Let me just say, because this is one of the responses that I hear commonly. So, how can we expect them to respect us when we don't respect ourselves?
That's that bullshit. See, I'm gonna cut you off. I know you playing devil's advocate, so I'm playing the motherfucker that deal with it. I'm about to silence your shit. So, cause I'm like this, family. That's bullshit. We just saw 5 days.
Bullshit. I agree.
We just saw 5 days. We saw 5 days where we had hundreds of people together. No beef. Hundreds of people for hours. Hungry. You know what I'm saying? No beefs. We do events all the time. How many events have we had where violence has broken out?
None.
So that whole shit right there is bullshit. Now, what you'll see on social media, because we like to advertise fuckery, you'll see that. But you won't see people making a Kwanzaa celebration or just a clip from Kwanzaa go viral. Because it's no violent porn. There's no porn in it. Right? It's, you know what I'm saying? It's not media, in a sense, media worthy. Because black folks is doing what black folks have always done. Being open and accepting to everyone and all that. We always been like that. I'm the one that's saying, yeah, we do need to change, but we don't need to change because of what the devil advocate in you said. We need to change because there's motherfuckers inside of us and coming inside of us that's taking advantage of what we are. And we need to start circling the wagons and start identifying those that are really with us and those who are not. When we have our open ceremonies and stuff like that, everybody is welcome. But it's certain shit that some people just can't come to because you don't have the right to speak. You haven't earned the right to speak. You haven't bought the right to speak. You haven't sacrificed for the right to speak. That's where I'm at.
Well, if people don't, we don't respect each other. So how can we expect them to respect us?
I respect you.
I look at it like this. I do too, but I look at it like this. Just because this is going on A doesn't justify B. It never should justify B. Even if we were and they did see, that's just like me and you may be in an argument with one another. And if somebody who just doesn't know us, because we're arguing with one another, they feel like they have the right to jump in and start calling us bitches and niggas and motherfuckers. And they ain't even a part of the tribe. But that whole analogy is flawed because no one would go for that. So who cares what, we should respect each other, and we do respect each other. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. You can't throw us on a pot, like you said, none of us are respecting one another because that's just not true. But even if we weren't, it doesn't merit them disrespecting us, in my opinion. It doesn't merit that. Just like if they say we get reparations, we'll get in the money back, so we shouldn't even get them. One has nothing to do with the other, motherfucker. To me.
Now, and then also, that's that programming that we have, right? That's that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like this, man, and let me cover this real quick. Kwame, going back to the multicultural piece, Swahili was multicultural. Swahili was a language that was developed by African people so that we could do commerce with everybody. It was a common language that was developed so that we could do commerce and trade over large areas.
Okay.
We forget the trade part of our piece, of our culture. We forget that shit. And it's convenient. It just seems so convenient that we can't connect the fact that if we had kingdoms, if we had empires, if we had large pieces of land where people were coming in, and in order to get in, you know what I'm saying, they had to pay some type of tax, and they came specifically for the trade. That means that we had a group of individuals that were involved in commerce. This means that they were able to trade, which means they not only were able to get along with each other, they were able to get along with other people. We have always been able to do that. See, but what happens here, we'll reduce it down to a few incidents. I say that's how it always happens. When 85% of what we doing is the same thing that 85% of the rest of the world is doing. They just find ways, or we find ways to magnify the 10 to 15% that be going wrong. Because how can I put it? America is built up on our failure, so they got to always increase how failure looks with us. Because it make everybody else in America feel comfortable. And we buy into that shit. We can't get along. See, with that shit right there, I'm leaving meetings. I'm not talking to motherfuckers because I don't have time for that. Right?
Well, see, and when I hear multicultural in our community, I always think of it's one thing to come together for the purpose of commerce, but they still maintain their culture when they leave. But here in the United States, it seems like to me when we begin to talk multicultural, that means less black and, like you said, more of others.
More white. It's whiten it up. Why you know what I'm saying? We just kind of had this conversation talking about Orlando, the dude that plays Anansi on American Gods. You know, he too black. They got to remove. They removing his ass because he's too black. Because he's speaking up on black concerns. Because he did the writing for some of those scenes. So he's too confrontational. And America don't need to see this type of Negro. Right? So not only in media do they get rid of individuals like that, in other parts of our life they get rid of individuals like that. That's why it's important that we take advantage of this internet while we can. And we start spreading the word. Because there is unity in our community. Well, actually, let's say, because I even go back and say, well, let's say we don't have a community, right? Because we don't necessarily own it, but there is unity within our tribes. We are multicultural because we have many different tribes just in the black community. So why do I, you know what I'm saying? Multiculturalism is not for me because I never had a problem with other people expressing their cultures. It's West Asians that have always had problems. So when we start talking about becoming multicultural, it's not about us, it's about them. So and what multicultural means is making them feel comfortable. And as black people, it is not my job in this country any longer to make West Asians feel comfortable, because us making them feel comfortable is very uncomfortable and stressful and destructive to my community. My women can't wear their hair the way they want to when they go to work. You got to look like another.
Because if your hair is nappy,
white
folks ain't happy.
Brother Kwame said,
if your hair is relaxed, white folks feel relaxed. That was from, what's his name? Paul Mooney.
Is that what he, Paul, clever. And it's funny that so now going back to the Anansi piece, Anansi is what they consider a trickster god. You don't find it funny that the only motherfuckers that really could tell West Asians about themselves are the tricksters within our community, which a comedian represents. I make you laugh, you feel comfortable, and I can hit you with some truth. And then after it gets too much, I go back to the funny and blah, 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 and then I hit you with the truth. That's the only way they can get it. That's the only way they feel that they need to get it from us. They can't get it within our media. They can't get it when they come to our events. They can't get it. They can't stand it. So we need to be more multicultural. We need to make it softer for them. We need to make them fit. No, they need to learn how to fit with our shit just like we learned to fit with theirs. And we need to become comfortable with who we are. See, because it makes no difference to me how well you fit in with other cultures. How do you fit with yours? Are you comfortable with yours? See, this is why, far as Gye-Nyame, we on a cultural piece. We on that lineage. We on that cultural, embracing our culture, not just and embracing the African aspect of it. But what were the things that rose up over here that grew up out of where we are experienced here? We're talking about embracing the whole culture, developing that, studying that, mastering that. Brother Kwame say, it's the method Elder Cabernet used when he wants to challenge students with hard truths. Oh, yeah, you got to be funny, but that the day for that, it has to pass. I mean, because motherfuckers paying reparations, they're not going to be comfortable. They're going to pay reparations. I'm speaking it into truth. I'm just letting you know. You ain't going to be comfortable. This is going to be uncomfortable, America. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to sing their theme songs. America! Fuck yeah! You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to go and get them. It's time for the reparations train to start working. It's time for us to embrace and be comfortable with the fact that, y'all owe. We're not comfortable with that yet. We're not comfortable with that shit yet. I'm just saying, hey, we need to throw it on the table And like I said, let them make, you know what I'm saying? What moves y'all gonna make? Because at the same time, because what's crazy to me is they talking about they're getting ready. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a revolution. They got more guns and shit. But I'm like this, do they got as much heart? You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to shoot a motherfucker from 100 yards, but what happens when that motherfucker that live next door to you just happen to be up on what you doing? Not only that, we got young people out in, we got young people getting ready, whether they know it or not. Because, you know, a lot of people throwing shade on this whole gang shit. Every last young man that I ran into, and almost every last one I ran into is like, yo, when they get popping, you know what I'm saying? You know where to come. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I am gonna go into private stories, but you know, some of the shit I had to go get off of young people just surprised the fuck out of me. I'm just like, how am I supposed to just get? What the fuck you doing with this? Well, just take it, big bro. All right, cool. Why you got shit like this? You never know, bro. Like, damn, is that hard out here? Well, nah, it ain't just the other side that I'm talking about. It's the people you've been telling me about. Oh shit. Well, you gonna hold on to it for a little bit longer, just in case. You know, but the whole point, I don't know, what was we talking about? You was the devil's advocate. Got me off on some whole other shit.
You know, it don't take much for you to go to Babylon, but we were talking about multiculturalism.
Well, you shouldn't be listening so goddamn hard. Come on now, multiculturalism. Fuck it.
I'm not with it.
I'm already.
Yeah, that's what we was talking about, multiculturalism. But I think you really. You broke it down.
We been multicultural.
And so did Brother Kwame.
Right. And he says he needs to get in touch with Sister Nikki because he needs soap, butter.
Oh, okay. She was there the first night of Kwanzaa, wasn't she?
She sure was. Got my soap.
Okay, I'm going to have to. You got your stuff? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Got mine.
I'm sure y'all already discussed Kwanzaa, but
no, we didn't talk about
Kwanzaa.
We just got on here. I just got done with the toast.
Well, y'all missed out on a phenomenal Kwanzaa this year. I like Kwanzaa, of course, but this, in my opinion, was the best year of the entertainment piece of Kwanzaa that I have seen thus far. And I've been going to some Kwanzaa things for quite a while. But this year's entertainment, to me, just blew me away.
Wow.
The Paragon Project, they were just awesome. I showed somebody at work, they want that little the little boy that was playing the young man that was playing the saxophone. They want him to come play with their band sometime.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
I've been looking for a saxophone player. I wonder if people be able to come play with us sometime.
Oh, you gonna go kidnap a teenager? That boy young. Why you ain't introduce him to Eddie?
They can't. First of all, Eddie's too busy for that. They too lower level for Eddie Bayer.
I'm just saying. But saxophone musicians know other musicians.
Well, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
I think they're a little lower level for that. They're not there, and he's always so busy, but, they don't book. They're just getting started, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Family. So, what do you want to carry into 2020? Navita shared a lesson that she carried. And then she also came with a comment or a question or an idea for us to go and pick apart. Gye-Nyame Journey is for us. Gye-Nyame Journey Media is for us to start thinking about us, thinking about how we deal with the world, our place in the world. You know what I'm saying? So feel free to call in and call in.
I got something I carried into 2020 that I came up with. I'm bringing it on in with me. And this came to me during Kwanzaa. with the hundreds of people that I've seen coming through Kwanzaa. Faces of people that I did not know. Younger folks that I was not familiar with. We need to, in my opinion, we, as Gye-Nyame, Tawi, whenever we do an event and we have people like that in those numbers, we need to take serious the recruiting concept. Because even though we are coming in as nation builders, we're not young like that.
That's true.
We're not that young. You know what I'm saying? So we have children, but, we need more than just our children to follow up what we put down. So I truly think in 2020 that we should be doing some recruiting in these types of events. Next will be the Malcolm X Festival.
Right. So now I'm gonna say this: we did do some recruiting, and the major.
We said that we could tell people to go sign up.
Right.
If they're interested.
Right.
I remember because I suggested that. But to me, that's not enough. But
you want to start? You want a strong arm membership? You want a strong arm?
No. No. I want to make it interesting enough to where they say, "Oh, well, I might be." But if I just say, "And if you're interested in learning more, please sign up at the front desk," that's not really moving and motivating me. But if you present it in a certain way, you may be, maybe not, but you may be more apt to find more individuals that are interested.
Like throwing a whole Kwanzaa event for 5 days, you don't think that was kind of like a recruitment piece? Because we could have did that shit and kept it private and have a band come in just for 20, 30 of us.
I'm saying we could have done it, but okay, that's my point. We mentioned it the one time is all I recall, but you may have mentioned it every night, but I think we have to do more than just, hey, if you're interested, sign up. Right. I think it has to be more than just that.
Okay.
This is me. But so in this year, I'm really going to concentrate. I'm going to try to fit into my schedule with the other things that I have on my plate to really recruit people to be involved in some of the things that we do. And then maybe they will take an interest in joining Gye-Nyame, Tawi, both, what have you. You know what I'm saying? But you have 3 children. I have 1 grandson. And hopefully Imani will come along, my god grandson, I dates girls and stuff, but we still, we are looking to build a village for real. So I think that we should recruit some new faces in the place. Younger folks, that is. I mean, I take old people like me too, but, just some younger people.
CeeLo says, when building a kingdom, the people are first in agreement. They then agree to inhabit, control, protect, and take the space and land. So that's kind of on what we was hitting on last night. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I think the recruitment is going on, but you saying take a more centered approach and a direct approach in getting people to sign up. You know what I'm saying?
Or just getting people to attend and be interested. Certain things, just like, for example, there's certain things a person can say and do, and there are trigger words, keywords that spark people's interest, as opposed to somebody who may not be doing that, but the agenda is the same. It's just about marketing. That's what it is. It's about marketing. And then, of course, if you say some people will come along the way and some people will go. But those that are meant to stay will be there. But I think that I think it's important that you recruit and you bring more people into the village of like-mindedness. I think that's very important.
Okay. Call-in lines are open, 614-556-4535. Once again, that number is 614-556-4535. The black line is open. Let me hear your black voice. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. She called. I heard you. Come on now. So, all right, since nobody else calling in right now, let's go and look at some more news here. So we just got them talking about Orlando Jones. Hopefully I answered Kwame's question about King of Harlem. And another one of those excellent shows that came out of 2019. We're going to see what direction they take that in. Brother Mark of ADOS Columbus did an interview with a brother by the name of Reggie out of Boston that's in charge of the ADOS movement up there. Very good conversation about the whole ADOS movement from the ground level. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's interested, check that out. We had a lovely talk yesterday, powerful talk on the show. I wanted to announce that Brother Illumila won the picture. He won the raffle for Kwanzaa. And, I told him to buy a ticket because he was giving me a lecture about Malana Karinga. We was arguing. I said, well, go and buy a ticket then. I don't want that picture. He said, oh, okay. He put it in. He bought it. I should have took it and sold it because he wouldn't have bought the ticket if I didn't. If he wasn't arguing with me, he wouldn't have bought the goddamn ticket to prove a point. He bought the ticket and won. We got the whole. We streamed the whole Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? We streamed the whole Kwanzaa over this week. We was able to do it. We found some new tools. There's another community, Evansville. I don't know where is that. They celebrating Kwanzaa. All right, then Africa Before Transatlantic Enslavement History Month 2019. Let's go and look at this real quick. This is on Gye-Nyame Journey Timeline. This is from the site called blackhistorymonth.org.uk. This is the UK version of. So let's just go and look at it a little bit. The African continent is now recognized as the birthplace of humanity and the cradle of civilization. We still marvel at the great achievements of Kemet or ancient Egypt. For example, one of the most notable of the early African civilizations was first developed in the Nile Valley over 5,000 years ago. However, even before the rise of Kemet, it seems likely that an even more ancient kingdom known as Tasseti existed in what is today Nubia and the Sudan. They may well have been the earliest state to exist anywhere in the world. Africa can therefore be credited not only with giving rise to many of the scientific development associated with Egypt, engineering, mathematics, architecture, medicine, etc., but also with important early political developments such as state formation and monarchy. This demonstrates the economic and political development as well as scientific development was during this early period, perhaps more advanced in Africa than in other continents. The African continent continued on its own path of development without significant external intervention into the 15th century of our era. Some of the world's other great civilizations such as Kush, Aksum, Mali, and Great Zimbabwe flourished in Africa in the years before 1500. In these early periods, Africans participated in extensive international trading networks. I didn't write this. I lost my place. I got so excited. And in transoceanic travel, certainly some African states had established important trading relationships with India, China, and other parts of Asia long before they were disrupted by European interventions. Black Research Triangle, Columbus, Cincy, Dayton. That's an excellent idea. Black Research Triangle, Columbus, Cincy, Dayton. By the 15th century, the African continent was already one of great diversity. That goes back to your question about multiculturalism. The existence of great kingdoms and empires such as Mali in the west and Ethiopia in the east were in many ways exceptional rather than typical. In many parts of the continent, no major centralized state existed, and many people lived in societies where there were no great division of wealth and power. In such societies, there were generally more democratic systems of government, by councils of elders and other kinship and age-based institutions. As a consequence, there was also a diversity of religious and philosophical beliefs. In many areas, these beliefs remained traditional and stressed the importance of communing with common ancestors. The Ethiopian kingdom was unusual because the Orthodox Christian Church, which was of ancient origin in that region, had increasingly important state functions. In Mali and in some other areas of Western and Eastern Africa, as well as throughout North Africa, Islam had already begun to play a significant role before 1500. Most importantly, African societies were following their own patterns of development before the onset of European intervention. So, you gonna read that article, get some more in it, but I want to stress that part of our culture is the economics. It's part of our culture. You can't have a culture without economics. I'm just saying, the part of the birth of a culture is built on the trading system. And you just heard it. I just said this shit last night. All right. Well, some of it. I ain't say all that. But I was talking about the importance of us trading amongst ourselves and stuff like that. You got to have that in order for a culture to be real. All right, let's move on with some other news. Old people can produce as many new brain cells as teenagers. That's news. That's on the timeline. So you can develop new habits. You create new brain cells. You create as many as some teenagers. Y'all just got old stinking thinking. When I was just caught up in old stinking thinking. So those new brain cells just take on the personality of those old fuckers. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. I do it all the time. All right, let's see what else we got on the timeline before I get up out of here. Well, I ain't got nothing else on the timeline. My timeline went blank. You got any news you want to cover? Anybody else out there? But also, let's go back and let's look at Brother Sa's comment. He said, a Black Research Triangle, Columbus, Cincy, and Dayton. We do. I mean, shit. We right in the center. Right? We could do something like that. But, because, and it's not complicated. It's just like, are we really looking at our culture in a scientific way? Are we treating it as a discipline, as something that could be used as an academic discipline to help teach our children how to think, right? Express themselves, explore new ideas, do research, and some of the older people too. See, because I get so many people just throwing out all these ancient facts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Dates and that shit is impressive for the first 20 minutes until it's time to do some work and you find out that they can't do work. And he also threw on there not just research and economics. Can set up some trade. But like I said, we got now each one of those areas got to come up with something unique that the others will need. Like, for example, here we could produce that ambrosia and get that shit down there. You know what I'm saying? Let me slow down. I could work on producing it, get it working. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have, but shit, if I needed to, I could sure do that. Uh-oh. All right, got a message from one of the elders, so I'm gonna get off here and see what's going on with that. But yeah, these are things that we could really start working on. You understand what I'm saying? But Sister Nvidia, you got any final words?
No, I don't have any final words.
All right. So, family, you had your chance to express yourself in the new year. I want to thank everybody for joining us here right now in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simple production, and we have just done the first Daily Toast of the year. But we strive to blow up your old paradigms. I'm out. Brother Kwame, okay, cool. We got it. Peace.